One of the hidden pleasures of making Anime Abandoned is finding long-forgotten gems and giving them a chance to shine. A chance they probably never had when they were new. Some of my most favorite episodes are the ones where I talk about titles like Video Girl Eye and Gunsmith Cats, unjustly overlooked anime that should have had a more prominent place in the cultural memory than they do. The same is true for the opposite end of the quality spectrum. Titles that are so cracked out and insane that it's a wonder that anyone forgot them at all can be just as fun to cover. Ultimate Teacher, Plastic Little, Ninja Resurrection, the list of enjoyable Terra-bad anime is peppered with insanity like these, and it's seemingly never ending. All you have to do is to keep looking and be willing to get your hands dirty. Dirty with what, you might ask? Well, with titles like Garaga. A 1989 film that was released stateside in 2001 to almost no fanfare of any sort, Garaga is fairly typical of Central Park media in the early 2000s. While it is arguable that these were CPM's best years, since they enjoyed rapid expansion in both anime and manga sales, it was at the expense of quality. In the past, we have covered more than a few of these wheelbarrow titles, as I've come to call them, but I believe we may have stumbled upon the most perfect example of that moniker. I mean, looking at the DVD case here, you just had to feel sorry for the poor schmucks that had to find a way to sell this to would-be buyers. I mean, check out the pull quote here. A must-have for fans of Planet of the Apes. Considering this was 2001, I didn't think there was any fans of Planet of the Apes left. The only reason why they said that was because it looks like there's ape men in the movie. And there are, but they're hardly the focus. And besides, I doubt that people liked Planet of the Apes because there's monkeys in them! Well, the first one at least. So what does that say about Garaga, that the only reason CPM thinks people might be interested in watching it is because monkeys! Nothing good, I can tell you that much. This is Garaga.
In the year 2200, Earth broke the light speed barrier. This technology gave access to every corner of the galaxy.
Whoop! My mistake. It looks like we're watching Odin again.
Spaceships are powered by laser, transmitted through their sails.
Oh, this does not augur well for you, Garaga. And wait, hold on, are you actually still going?
By opening onto hyperspace, the gate made faster than light travel a reality. In their rapid orbit, the black holes seemed to form a ring.
And on our ship of the imagination, we will be exploring these black holes, as well as the Crab Nebula if the strain is hitting us right. If you assume that this entire narration is utterly pointless and will never factor into the movie again, you've obviously ridden the Anime Abandoned ride before. So it should also come as no surprise that the voice acting features some alumni of sorts.
Our captain isn't on board. You idiots!
Wow, he called us idiots.
Of course, naturally.
Forget the captain. Let's just go. You certainly got sexy.
Nice to see you again, Garzy's Wing. I look forward to your inevitable death wailing by movie's end. Also, you're amazed you were called an idiot guy? Heaven help you if somebody ever calls you a shithead. You'd probably go full Scanners.
What are you saying? We can't leave without our captain. What do you guys think you're staring at?
Oy, this dub.
Hi, everyone! Sorry I'm late. They cleared our departure, but no one told me. I guess it doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the line and read for the entire review. So it seems our intrepid crew are off to some kind of human settlement with a few cryogenically frozen passengers on board. Wait, why are they frozen but not the crew? Are these guys seriously down for aging to death on this junk pile?
Sorry, I just wanted to talk to my boyfriend. You know how boys can be.
But it's only been 2 weeks since we left port.
Apparently not, because the entire trip only took them 2 weeks to complete. Just 2 weeks, and they still felt the need to cryogenically preserve themselves. The woman in Total Recall had a more stable reaction than this.
2 weeks. 2 weeks!
You've ever watched a movie where it seems a lot is happening, but it doesn't feel like anything is happening? Well, that's pretty much the entire setup to Garaga. We're clued into this woman having ulterior motives, reporting to someone named Alf.
Yes, I am certainly well briefed on my orders, Commander Alf.
Sure, why not? And then the next thing you know, part of the ship explodes, sending the crew careening off course, and then their shuttle mysteriously explodes and leaves them marooned on an alien planet. It could very well be that this woman tampered around the ship to get both vessels to explode, but it's all speculation since the enemy never showed her doing anything like that. So either she sabotaged both ships, needlessly endangering her life in the process, or this crew are the most snake-bitten sons of bitches this side of the Cleveland Browns. Yep, gotta go with snake-bitten. Oh yeah, this guy, never brought up again, whoever he was.
Well, Randy, do you have any regrets?
Well, I have far too many regrets to count, I'm afraid.
But I suppose my biggest regret was storing all that C4 near the exit hatch. Hindsight, am I right? Since the whole journey has gone tits up, the remaining crew decide to wake up the two sleeping passengers.
Oh.
What kind of expression is that?
Search me. The guy sounds like he just found a treasure chest full of pie. Okay, seriously, is Ripley's underwear standard issue in anime's future? What is this, the 15th time this was homaged? Come on! Well, before the crew could get their bearings and come up with any plan of action, an ape man suddenly appears and starts breaking people's backs and making them humble.
Hey, you ugly, damn dirty ape! Time to play with me now!
They couldn't even get the quote right. Take your stinking paws off him, you damn dirty ape. If you're going to ape from Planet of the Apes, ape it right! Well, at least the ensuing fight scene is 10 kinds of ridiculous, with Garzi here breaking the ape's blade and then pool cueing him so hard he flies back 20 feet and impales himself on the blunt end of his own broken sword. How does the crew react to such epic ownage? Indifference.
I don't know where he learned all that, but he sure took care of it.
Yeah, he sure took care of that. That being a gigantic murderous ape with a sword, and taking care being that he tore physics a new beehole. And guess what? The gorillas have cybernetic enhancements, and they're on steroids.
3 times more muscular than humans. I wonder if that's natural.
No, look closer here. He's got injection scars, you see? Some sort of steroid use, I suspect.
He's had brain alterations too. Computer chip implants.
So using Captain Murphy's theorem here, if a cybernetically enhanced human has the strength of 5 gorillas, and a cybernetically enhanced gorilla has 3 times the strength of that, then that means that Garzi's wing is the one true god! But then if you actually saw Garzi's wing, you'd have already known that. So as the rest of the crew gets situated, the mole here sneaks off to once again report to Alf, when all of a sudden, monster attack! Their weapons are useless against it, but in comes Garzi to once again save the day.
Damn it! I hope it has a weak spot.
Shoot it in the tail.
What? Oh, all right, there!
Thanks, disembodied voice in my head! Screw my medication, I'm gonna listen to you from now on!
That son of a gun drove it off with a single shot. Huh. It's almost like he instinctively knew its weak spot.
I reckon he be one of them dear protagonists. Alas, the encounter has left them all, what's the expression? Ah yes, dead as shit. But there ain't no time to mourn her, as even more roided out cyber gorillas are attacking.
Time for new tactics, Anbu. Get me the battle gear.
Roger that.
That's great. Thanks, little buddy. Give me a second. It takes a while for this thing to rev up.
Wow, it's a good thing these roided out cyber gorillas are letting me power up my suit so I can fight them. You know, a sense of fair play really is what separates us from the apes. I'm not gonna lie, this power suit is awesome, and I would have loved this as a kid. It even has a jetpack for crying out loud. But it's not enough to overcome the numbers, so the voice in Garzi's head reveals herself after scaring off the gorillas with a dinosaur illusion.
I'm not your enemy.
Wow, telepathy. I wonder if she's one of those indigenous psychics my briefing mentioned.
You better hope she is, Garzi, otherwise you have way worse problems than Terminator Coco's running around. Well, this is getting too awesome for this anime, so the rest of the boring B crew come running out.
Wow, I don't believe it. She looks human.
Oh. She's leaving!
Mind like a steel trap, that one. In all the hullabaloo, one of the passengers gets abducted by one of the Magillas, but luckily the other passenger just so happened to slip a tracer on her in the form of earrings. Why did she do this? Because she too has ulterior motives. Yeah, I forgot this was trying to have a plot too.
It's a miniature tracking device. Follow the graph and you'll find her on. It picks up radio waves around 26 gigahertz.
Microwaves.
Damn it, this is the first time an anime beat me to the pedantic punch. Curse you! Bandage on the head? Face? Look, all of these characters are barely one note and have about as much presence as a fart in the wind. Hell, even a fart in the wind can make you feel warm for a few seconds. At the 30-minute mark, the movie just gives up on having a cohesive story and just has all the characters randomly reveal that they're actually some kind of government operatives that are... You know what? I think it's just quicker to say that everyone on the ship is not who they say they are. Well, except for the captain.
What were they doing on my cargo ship? It's almost like they knew we were going to crash here. What secret is this planet hiding? I hope I don't soil my pants.
Why not? The movie already shat itself. It's not like anyone would notice if you crapped your pants. From here on out, the movie just has one confusing turn after another, and while the first act is kind of goofy fun to barb at, the rest of the movie is this labyrinthine yarn of betrayals and galactic political upheavals, and it's all being told with one of the dumbest, most poorly written scripts I've heard in quite some time.
She's probably one of the psychics we were briefed on.
How are we supposed to defend ourselves from a telepath?
You need not be afraid of me. I will lead you to the royal capital of Arslean.
How is it that you know our destination? Are you reading our minds?
We weren't briefed on this.
Then what the hell were you briefed on? Are you dumbasses even listening to yourselves? And the script is full of these contradicting statements and painfully spelled out diatribes that somehow leaves even more questions than it supposedly answers.
Exactly what the hell are you doing here anyway?
Who put you in charge, you old dinosaur?
You aren't one of those army extremists, are you? In case you didn't know it, you aren't going to solve anything by killing General Yun.
Okay, let's try to address this one thing at a time. 1. Who is General Yoon? The story only brings him up one other time at the very beginning of the movie, and he has since been a non-entity up until this point. 2. What army are you talking about, and why would there be extremists? 3. If you're leading some kind of covert mission that for one reason or another required you duping a cargo ship captain of his services, why do you not know who this woman is? And why the hell aren't you doing anything about her obvious suspicious behavior? And 4. What was your original plan to begin with? Unless you were counting on someone sabotaging the ship and forcing you to crash here on Garaga, what were you trying to do? And guess what? They never answer that. Instead, we're treated to headache after headache with the kidnapped passenger, General Yoon's daughter, brought before the man himself. Seems he's been the one outfitting the apes with cybernetic enhancements and steroids so he could take Garaga from the psychics, with the help of his robot right-hand man, Alf. Yeah, you remember him, the guy the mole was taking orders from that blew up the ship and started this mess of a story to begin with? Yeah, that's the asshole. And if that weren't enough, somehow, I do not know how or why, both the General and Alf have the Psychics leader on hand, even though they're at war with the Psychics.
Those selfish fools. They think they can manipulate me. They don't understand that Garaga belongs to my people, the Lars. I'll stop both Alf and General Yun. Then we'll see who has been manipulated and who laughs last.
Yes, my evil plan to protect my planet from invading forces is coming to fruition. My motivation is confused. And shouldn't you be taking Link to Korodai by now? Meanwhile, in plotline number 243, Garzy's wing has been kidnapped too by the Grape Apes and is about to be sacrificed to their god, when somehow the psychic's energy manages to protect him from the blaze. And then Guanum here, who just said this...
I'd like to see all humans put to the torch.
now instructs the psychic woman, who we've never seen before, to save him. You know what's sad? That barely alive guttural groan is the closest anyone here has gone to going full Garzy's wing. How is that possible? The only thing that is keeping me into this blithering stupid farce is the outside chance that Garzy's wing here does what he does best. And so far, he's just been terrible in an altogether uninteresting way. It's bad enough that the story and character motivations have been completely stripped of any sense of comprehension, but the least this anime can do is be interesting in some way. So, if it's all the same with you guys, I think it's time for us to wrap up this review sooner rather than later. Time to hit the autopilot. Apparently, the reason why they saved him was because they need his help against the General, who, along with his daughter, have escaped the planet and is now on a space station orbiting Garaga.
He made the ape men Umlanga self-aware. If they exterminate the Lars, he can keep his own hands clean. My daughter and I pretended to throw in with Jan. We had to get close to him in order to stop the slaughter.
Well, it's a good thing the General is the kind of dirt-stupid bastard to accept your help in exterminating your own race. Unless he isn't, and he's actually being controlled by his robot sidekick Alf, but what kind of moronic anime would ever dare to have such a turn? And cue the clip.
Whoa, my god! Now I get it! Alf is behind everything! The General's not in control, he's just a puppet!
What kills me especially about this isn't so much the "oh you gotta be kidding me" plot twist, it's that Garzy's wing finds out all about this by reading a computer screen that has nothing to do with what's going on at all. It's so surreal to hear the actor reading about mind control and such when the text plainly shows that's not the case. In fact, it looks like the animators just ripped text from a car brochure and stuck in the word Garaga at complete random. And that's because they did! Unless Garaga actually does come with a powertrain warranty. And when Alf learns of his plans being found out, the plot wave function finally collapses under its own weight, with Guanum being unceremoniously killed by Alf's robots, and the rest of the ship's crew meeting back up within the walls of the city to basically dump the backed up septic tank that is our narrative upon everyone.
You're attached to the director? Why didn't you tell us?
I would have, really, but I wasn't sure what General Borgi was up to.
What was General Yan up to?
I'm sorry to say, but Alf has been brainwashing him.
So what you're saying is that General Yoon was up to something and the Galactic Federation needed to find out what it was, so they sent two separate teams of undercover agents on the same freight ship that just so happened to be carrying the General's daughter in cryosleep and didn't tell either team about the other and counted on a double agent to spring a trap and crash the ship onto Garaga. Now it all makes sense! The last vestiges of coherency is finally thrown away when the whole thing turns into a peck-and-paw climax, and everyone starts killing each other in a brutally, abusively long scene, where all that pretty much happens is that the crew make their way up to the space station to confront Alf, who has gotten the password to humanity's defenses by taking General Yoon's daughter hostage. You'd think that since he has the General under mind control, he could have just ordered him to give the password, but what the hell do I know?
You must understand this space station is now under my command. My combat robots are conquering our Slayan as well. Organic life as you know it will be eliminated, and robots will rule the entire galaxy. That is all.
I like to think that wasn't Alf ending his transmission, but rather the actor resigning himself to the dumbness of the plot. Forward on the ball bearings of fate, not feet. That is all. But finally, we come to the part we've all been waiting for. Garzy's wing finally confronts Alf, he's got his sweet jetpack on, and his robot buddy just took an energy beam to the face. It's time for him to deliver the goods!
On move! You bastard! You slime!
That's it? We've been waiting the entire movie for this one actor to do the one thing he is infamous for, and he barely lets out a mouse fart like that?
Disappointed!
Even that would have been a better payoff than what we got. Seriously? Fuck this movie. And that is pretty much how it ends. Garzi defeats Alf, the psychics band together to stop the space station's laser from destroying the planet, and everyone just politely agrees to never talk about this ever again. Which is fine by me. Garaga is just terrible. The plot is incredibly hard to follow, since nearly every character has ulterior motives that are clumsily brought up and resolved. The story itself is a bland space adventure that never bothers to kick into high gear, and the voice acting and script is 10 kinds of horrendous, without ever once brushing up against entertainingly bad. The only other anime I can think of that can match pointlessness for pointlessness is The Dark Myth, and if you're summoning up memories of that, get out of the anime game now! So it seems Anime Abandon has returned to familiar ground. And I don't see a reason why we should shift course, especially seeing what's next on our agenda. Till next time.